all the peace-loving nations were blessed by the Arab Emirates under his astute leadership, with a touch of tender gratitude towards the development leader, and in order to nurture the development of human beings and to substantiate his culture. This invitation is for all to express feelings towards the Emirates and its leader, and to sign his
To start with, I would like to welcome the U.S. Ambassador, Michael Gordon. I'm grateful that you are here. The U.S. Consul General in Dubai. I'm delighted that you are here. Ambassador Ahmed Lana, Assistant Secretary of Foreign Affairs for Economic Affairs. And he met the group yesterday. I'm delighted that you are here. And of course, we have Ramsey, who is Chairman of the American Business Council, who is our host in this program. Let me first go over the members of the delegation. First, the leader of the delegation, the Secretary of State of Maryland, John McDonough. Here he is. Thank you. A lawyer, a professional, but a leader in the state. He worked very hard on making Maryland an international state. Second, I'd like to call on Anne Yanakova. She's the Director of International Relations and now Secretary General. Anna, she's not here? Okay, sorry. Then, business, Khalil Bhatti, who is here. Here he is, businessman. Charles Comey, who is here. With this having said, I'd like to tell you that, the interest in the Emirates here in cultivating business with the United States at large and with Maryland is very deep. I hope that this will move on. When we started putting together this delegation, I discovered that Maryland is really exporting to this country a very large amount of products. Lockheed Martin, which is one of the largest companies in the United States and in Maryland, is exporting to this country several million of dollars every year. So the relationship is already there. What we have to do is really to move on and cultivating other areas, not only in terms of business and trade, but also culture, academic, and also to give opportunities for both sides in terms of business to do joint ventures and move on. With this, I would like to first tell you that we were delighted that the Consul General accepted our invitation. I'm glad he's here. I would like to ask him to come to the floor and to make a few remarks.
Well, thank you, Ambassador Saleh, for that kind introduction. Ambassador Abena, Ambassador Corbin, Ambassador Dr. Saleh, Secretary McDonough, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is a real honor to be here tonight and a particular pleasure to welcome a delegation from the state of Maryland. And I say that as a former resident of the state of Maryland, so it really is a distinct pleasure to have you here. I'll be very brief this evening, but I do have two key messages that I would like to share with the delegation. And the first is I want to assure you that you are in the right place and the right market. Dubai is literally booming. It is a global hub and a truly dynamic market. Now let me share just a few details with you that I think illustrate that point. If you look at Dubai's macroeconomic performance over the past year, it's literally off the charts. Dubai's stock market was the world's best returning stock market last year with a return of over 100%. Those are numbers that would impress even Warren Buffett. Its GDP growth was well over 4%. Real estate market rebounded sharply last year. There were some other important milestones looking beyond the figures as well. Early this year, Dubai International Airport passed London's Heathrow as the world's busiest international airport. Just outside of the city, you may have the chance while you're here to visit the port of Jebel Ali, which is the busiest port between Antwerp and Singapore. And in addition to all of that, as I think everybody in this room knows, earlier this, I guess in November rather, Dubai was selected as the host of Expo 2020, which I think is a real tribute to not only the economic dynamism of Dubai, but also to the vision of its leadership and the leadership of the United Arab Emirates. So you're in the right place, and in addition to kind of the overall picture of growth that we see around us here in Dubai, let me share just a few details with you about the bilateral economic relationship between the United States and the United Arab Emirates, and particularly Dubai. So earlier today, Ambassador Corbyn and I were in Abu Dhabi, where we were with the State Department's Assistant Secretary for Economic Affairs, Charles Rivkin, for an economic policy dialogue that we hold every 6 months with the government of the UAE. This is, as Assistant Secretary Rivkin said, the gold standard when it comes to economic dialogues that we hold with other countries in terms of the breadth of discussion, the quality of the cooperation. And he made the point, and I thought this was particularly significant, this was his very first trip outside of the United States since assuming his job as Assistant Secretary for Economic Affairs. And he stressed that it was no accident that he came to the United Arab Emirates on that first trip. So last year, the total trade between our two countries was almost $27 billion. Of that sum, we ran a trade surplus of just over $22 billion, which makes this our most important export market anywhere in the Middle East and in South Asia. And speaking of U.S. business, this brings me to the second point that I wanted to make this evening. Although we have many distinguished guests with us this evening, the man of the hour, as far as I'm concerned, is Nasser Abbasi. Nasser, you want to stand up for just a sec? Folks, Nasser Abbasi is our new commercial officer at the consulate. Nasser comes to us from Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, where he's had more than 12 years working in the Gulf region and on Gulf markets. So he brings a wealth of commercial expertise and is an important resource for companies back in the United States that are looking to do business in this region. So if you haven't had a chance to meet Nasser, I highly encourage you to meet him before you leave this evening. He is a tremendous asset. We're very excited that he's here. And Nasser, I got to warn you, you're going to be very busy for the next 3 years.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Once again, welcome to Dubai. You're in the right place. It's great to have you here. And if there's anything that we can do to support you in the state of Maryland, don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you.
Now, our second speaker is Mr. Tariq Ahmed, the chairman of the CEO Club, who has worked also with us to put together this function and to put together the program communication.
Bismillah ar-Rahman the Ambassador of United States of America, the Consul General of United States of America in Dubai, Dr. Ahmed, and the Secretary of State for Maryland, and the delegation. We welcome you all in the great city of Dubai and the great country, UAE. And I hope you all enjoy your visit, which is a very short visit into this lovely country. CEO Club is a business networking platform helping businesses all over the world, which started in the US more than a long time ago when I was living in Los Angeles. So I think the focus is always to how to grow business, and I think seeing the delegation from Maryland, and I think it's my second home also is Northern Virginia, that I'm very glad to see that the Maryland people are here in a great city and seeing the old people and all business in Baltimore places. So I think as a businessman, as a business platform, that we are very keen to work with the Maryland delegation and Maryland state to see how we can promote into UAE and also in the region. And what I mean by how we promote, that we have a platform where we have more than 700 companies member in UAE and more than 15,000 in 20 countries. So we like to take the Maryland business message through our network to all over the world, and also definitely in UAE. So we like to have a very close relation with the state of Maryland and see and explore the opportunities that how we can help them, not only in the business side and also in the tourism side. We plan to take a delegation, hopefully early part of next year. That what I was discussing earlier, that we as a private platform, that we as a CEO Club is taking a roadshow of promoting Expo 2020 private opportunities to our network. We hosted a very major conference in the month of March, exploring the opportunities, and we plan to take a roadshow in 5 different countries, including US. So I think we will definitely visit Maryland and see that how we can work together. Place like Dubai, there are a lot of opportunities also in multiple sectors, especially in hospitality, trading, and real estate and tourism industry. So Maryland should also look into the opportunities here in UAE, which is offered by different business people. And I think there is a good synergy between the two nations, and I think it could be a great formula for both businessmen working together. Our key role that we want to play is a bridge between the business community, not only a platform to making sure that the transactions happens, because I think the business transaction is the only key of when the success is monitored by the transactions. So I think Maryland should definitely look into the opportunities, not only in UAE, the whole region. And I think that the CEO Club can play a key role, and we like again I say that how we can help them, let us know. And I'm very glad to see the Secretary of State, and I want to see that how we can grow not only a short-term and a long-term business relationship with the Maryland state. And I'm also very thankful to American Business Council for hosting this event. And I think the American Business Council is also very important here, playing a very key role in promoting American businesses. We hope the delegation have a wonderful visit, and I think you enjoy the rest of the few days that what I understand, and definitely Abu Dhabi, which is a great city. So on behalf of CEO Club, I'd like to thank you and welcome and offer our services and see how we can do it. And last, like I always say, let's learn from the past to correct our present for better future. Thank you.
I would like to introduce you a friend. Actually, I consider him one of the best ambassadors for the UAE, Mr. Ahmed. He's both an academic, a businessman, and a diplomat. I was always impressed with his contribution in discussion, in action, in practice. So Mr. Ahmed is a man who you can count on. I'd like to ask Mr. Ahmed to come to the floor and give a few remarks. Appreciate you are here.
Thank you, Ambassador Hamdi, for the nice introduction. Your Excellency, Secretary of State, State of Maryland, Your Excellency, Ambassador of the United States of America and the United Arab Emirates, Your Excellency, the Consul General of the United States in Dubai, members of the delegation, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually honored to be amongst you. And actually I had certain points in my mind to share with you. But it seems that the Consul General of the US did a great job. And he even spoke about some of the points that I didn't have in mind to share with you. But anyways, you are in the United Arab Emirates, city of Dubai. Dubai actually, the traditional key business of Dubai is import-export, re-export. So if you look at the geographical location of Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, we are located and cover a population of over 1.5 billion. The Indian subcontinent, Iran, East Africa, and the MENA countries. That tells you the importance in terms of the traditional, classical foreign trade role that plays an important role in the GDP of Dubai. But then again, there are so many other sectors that are paid attention to and very, very important. And lately, there has been a lot of attention paid to the education system. On both levels, private education and public education. There's a lot of importance given to the health sector, private and public. Along with that, the other sectors, the traditional oil and gas, and renewable energy. The United Arab Emirates, as the Consul General mentioned, is the largest trading partner of the United States of America. And we look forward into improving that and enhancing our trade and economic ties with the United States of America. To reach to that goal, there are so many means and ways, and this is one of it actually. The exchange of delegations and participation in exhibitions and conferences and other events. I remember I was involved in 2003 in organizing the Board of Governors meeting of the IMF and World Bank that took place in September 2003 in Dubai. It was a successful, big, huge event that attracted about 19,000 people from all over the world, in the banking sector and Minister of Finance and some heads of the states and so on and so on. There are other events, so therefore I'm trying to reach to the point of what we call selective tourism and the tourism industry. Emirates Airline, Al-Ittihad Airline, Al-Arabiya, Fly Dubai has contributed drastically into improving what we call the selective tourism and the tourism sector of Dubai. It was mentioned Expo 2020. I was involved also with the organizing committee in the Expo 2020. And we had tough competition from 4 different countries. Russia, city of Ekaterinburg, Turkey, city of Izmir, Brazil, city of Sao Paulo, and Thailand, city of Bangkok. But then Thailand, just before the process of the voting and all that, withdrew. So then we were facing the severe competition of Russia, Brazil, and Turkey. I was amongst the delegation in Paris when the voting process took place, and it was unbelievable. 165 countries, members of the DIE, those from all over the world, voting for the country or the city that eventually will host the Expo 2020. And of course, as you all know, Dubai won it with a huge, big majority voting in terms of, if you look at the total votes, there were 3 rounds of votes, round 1, round 2, and round 3. And round 3, we got about over 113 votes. Round 3 was between us and Russia. So that tells you something about Dubai. That tells you the importance of Dubai. That tells you about the strength of the different economic sectors of Dubai. But again, there is something also important: the culture, what we think about this part of the world, the paradigm that sometimes controls our mind. And sometimes it's so difficult to shift that paradigm. I studied in the United States of America long time back. And at that time, I used to be asked, where are you from? I tell them, from the United Arab Emirates, question mark. From Dubai, question mark. From Kuwait, maybe some no, some maybe long. Saudi Arabia, mostly, yes. And that was in the, should I say? That was toward the end of 1970, 78, 77, 78. And since then I've been to the States hundreds of times, of course. I go to the United States twice or 3 times a year. And I see the difference now. The minute I ask where you're from, when I say Dubai, the minute I say Dubai, something happens. You can see it on the face of the people. Anyways, there has been a big shift in the thinking of the Americans toward this region. And we'd like actually to keep that, and to keep that positive thinking, and not the negative that sometimes may be exposed by the wrong media. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not take any more time. I thought I would share some of those thoughts with you. And once again, I welcome the delegation. And if there's anything I could do at any time, please let me know. And I thank you. Thank you all for being here. And wish you the best of the luck. And I thank my friend, Ambassador Hamdi, for asking me to be amongst you all. It's an honor. Thank you very much, and good night.
I would like to call on a lady who has been living in Maryland for some time. She flew from Lebanon particularly to meet the delegation. She is a television star in Lebanon, Mary, and she made a point to come here. And I would like her to come. She will introduce the Secretary of State.
Your Excellency, of United States Ambassador in UAE, Michael Corbin, the General Counsel, member of the delegation, ladies and gentlemen. Maryland is dear to me. That's where I live sometimes in the US, and that's where my son was born. I was glad to meet the delegation of Maryland from Business and Academic in Dubai, led by the Secretary of State. It's my pleasure to introduce the man who was working with the Governor Omari to make Maryland an international state. Their efforts is reflected in the diversity of cultures and the nationalities that live in Maryland, and expanding international trade and cooperation. Please welcome with me the Secretary of State, Mr. John McDonough.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for that very lovely introduction. First of all, I want to thank Ambassador Ahmad Abana for being here this evening, but also sharing the evening with us yesterday. We hope to expand our relationship with the UAE, with Dubai, and it's been a great start to make a good friend in the ambassador, and we'll be working closely not only in trade and economic, but in cultural and political relations as well. So thank you, Ambassador. I want to thank all the representatives of the American Embassy here this evening. I've had the opportunity to travel since being appointed Secretary of State by Governor Martin O'Malley all over the world, and I'm always impressed by the quality of the men and women who represent the United States in the foreign service throughout the world, and we couldn't be better represented than we are here in the UAE with Ambassador Michael Corbin, Consul General Rob Waller, and the new addition to the Department of Commerce, Nasser Abbasi, but we're particularly pleased to have Nasser here since he worked in Baltimore for 4 years in Maryland. So we in Maryland always like to have an inside track. In fact, I'm impressed by how many people, even among residents in the UAE, have relatives and friends who live and are residents in Maryland. And the primaries are coming up on June 24th, so we're sure to tell them to vote. So you get far from hope, that some things are very important. I want to he had to leave briefly. He was here earlier this evening. But we had the opportunity to meet with Jeff Singer from the Department of Dubai International Financial Center, and he gave us his insights about the history of that institution and was very, very helpful. So we want to thank him for being here this evening. And of course, we want to thank our host on behalf of all of our delegation, Mr. Sharif Abed, Chairman of the CU Club of UAE, who brought us a warm welcome here this evening, and Ramsey Jurdy for the President of the American Business Council, who also has a local connection. We're very pleased to spend some time with him this evening. As was mentioned in the introduction, Maryland is a very diverse state. We do have the fortunate opportunity to be located near our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. So it's only natural that we have sought an international profile, and much of our trade, as well as our daily life, is intricately entwined with people around the globe and with the global economy. And the UAE is a very important part of that. This is not a new relationship for the state of Maryland. The UAE is now our 13th largest export market. Maryland, and it's growing too. Maryland exports to the UAE increased from almost 200 million to 2012 to almost 270 million in 2013. And this continued growth bodes well for our relationship. Now, it may be a coincidence or it may not, but during that same period of time, we were fortunate through our Department of Business and Economic Development to gain the services of Anand Jafari, who is the managing partner of Channels, who represents Maryland, the UAE, is here this evening. I'm going to ask Ann to stand. A famous American novel in the 1950s called Our Man in Havana. Ann is our woman in Dubai. So if you have any issues or problems regarding trade, please see Ann. And that's particularly important because, as Dr. Salah indicated in his remarks, we sort of did this visit impromptu. A good friend of mine is the former Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, and she and Dr. Salah are friends, so he had invited her, and she asked whether we would organize a small trade delegation on relatively short notice to come with her to the UAE, and we were willing to do that, and we did organize it. Unfortunately, Kathleen had a family issue that arose. It's a very large family, as you know, so she personally had to pull out at the last minute. But I was very pleased that this occurred anyway. I think it was almost a fortunate occurrence, because this allowed us to meet many of you, to pave the way for a larger delegation, which is being organized by our Department of Business and Economic Development in coordination with AMP, which will be here in the fall, which will be a major trade initiative by the state of Maryland, both in the UAE and the greater Gulf region. So we look forward to that visit, and we look forward to working with you in the next couple of months, for those of us who have met and made friends with already, to expand Maryland's role here in the UAE. We're proud of our connections here. They range from Marriott, which is a major Maryland company, which has hotels here, to Lockheed Martin, which was mentioned, but also to Gilbane Construction, to Micros Systems, which does hospitality information. We have companies here that specialize in solar energy and cybersecurity and construction, hospitality, and packaging, many of the industries that and services for which you're rightfully famous throughout the world. But our connections are not just economic. The state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore and Johns Hopkins University has benefited from very great generosity of the royal family, and Hopkins has an internationally renowned medical center, and we treasure our relationship through Hopkins with the UAE. And in that regard, we are proud to participate in the Arab Health Conference, which was held just recently, which has resulted in a great expansion of marketing in health facilities area, not only here in the UAE, but throughout the Middle East. I thank Anne for her efforts in doing that. So as you can see, Maryland has a strong economic, cultural, and we hope political relationship with the UAE that is longstanding, continues to be strong, and we hope will continue to grow. So on behalf of my delegation, representing many people in business and throughout other walks of life in Maryland, we're proud to have been here. We appreciate all the courtesy shown to us on this. Especially thank Dr. Salah and the Sharjah University for sponsoring and inviting us to this visit of a few short days. And we look forward, many of us, to coming back and seeing you again in the fall. Thank you very much.
We have another special representative of the culture here in this country here, a special personality, a public figure, our brother Shibani, that he's here. And he actually sponsored a very important initiative in this country.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، إخواني وأخواتي الحضور، مساكم الله بالخير. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I will not add what the Excellencies what they say, but I would like to just add one thing, that if we saw to the sky, we will see a lot of stars there, and there is no border or boundary between them. إذا نظرنا نحن اليوم إلى السماء لقينا فيها نجوم كثيرة وما فيها لا حدود ولا حواجز. So I think today there is a lot of stars from Dubai, from UAE and America also. So there is a no boundary, and there is a no also border or boundary, sorry, okay, between them. So let's go to the goal and gain the profit for the both sides, okay, and for everyone. So this is really, thank you very much. And I will say, like as per His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid said, that United Arab Emirates welcome everybody every time, and it is not second country for you, it's the first country for you, inshallah. Thank you.
Senate, Ms. Suraya Al-Awadi, to make comments, remarks. She's one of the dynamic business leaders in this city and in this country. And I was very impressed with the way how she gets things done. She has exhibits, she has companies, she has business, and she's also very much into culture.
Suraya Al-Awadi. I am from UAE Businesswoman Council. I'm head of the public relations. First of all, I want to welcome the delegation from the United States. It is always our pleasure to have people from all over the world visiting the United Arab Emirates. And Mr. Shimani, as he said, Dubai welcomes everybody. As Sheikh Mohammed, mashallah, says always, this is your first country. Your investment, your business, everything is safe in this country. I just wanted to welcome you, and this was a very short notice. I didn't prepare anything. I just said, okay, I will just come to the podium and say, first of all, I'm also mother of 7 children. I entered the business world about 7-8 years ago. I studied in the United States, graduated from the University of Southern California, and I decided, first of all, to raise my 7 kids, and then after that, enter the business world. My company basically, we deal into interior design, into exhibitions, and I welcome all of you, inshallah. I will take your business card to send emails to you whenever I have the exhibition. I was the first Emirati woman. In last December, I had a business, what we call exhibition in the World Trade Center. Anyhow, thank you very much, and I welcome you in Dubai. Thank you very much.
Please tell us overviews about the Walaseeqa. What is this?
Al-Walaseeqa is a space where the person he can appreciate and say to the rulers of United Arab Emirates and President of United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Khalifa, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa, reside Al Nahyan. Thank you, Sheikh Khalifa. Thank you, rulers of United Arab Emirates, for what you did and you are doing for the human being in United Arab Emirates and whole of the world.
How many visitors already visit your website? Because I saw it, mashallah, it's very good website.
Thank you very much, first of all, and second thing that they are members, not the visitors. Actually, they are members who have an official certificate from Al-Wafhiqa, getting by link when they register and give the loyalty of their loyalty to the United Arab Emirates and to the model of United Arab Emirates. This model is a unique model. There is a lot of different nationality and religion who is staying in United Arab Emirates, and there is no any difference between them. There is no any problems between them. So they are living in very peaceful life. So this concept should be, to be very honest, this is our target, that to say that thank you, Sheikh Khalifa, for what you did and how you bring this concept in United Arab Emirates, where now in this world it's very difficult in the other countries to create this model. So we are asking the whole world to follow this model.
many events you have already to promote this transcript?
We have now more than 3 million members who register and give loyalty from we established in 2011. It was 31st of May 2011. We launched this website.
3 years.
Yeah, within 3 years we received invitation from 280 departments and to come and bring our this stand and the system and everything with the full set, with the full accessories, okay, and we did more than 300 events and activity inside and outside the country. Yeah.
So what is your target now? How many people you want to make?
1 billion. 1 billion.